She seemed to be reading from the paper a lot, but I don't know. It was good, but I think I was confused as to whether the speech is about the problem of the media being biased, or I don't know. I just seem more focused on that, I guess. But yeah, good job.
You think?
Okay. I don't know. It was good, but it just seemed to be more focused on the bias of the media rather than Obama not really almost 8 straight. I mean, she did tie them together, but I don't know.
Okay. Oh, we won't let you keep struggling. You're trying to find it. I'll do it. I'll try and help you out a little bit. First of all, I thought that you had a good setup of the drama at the beginning. You've got the issue being explained. The opinion poll that you present suggests that there's a little bit of controversy about the issue, and you've got a very clear statement of what your goal is. I think you need. And I did appreciate that you had a good criteria that you used with the MLK speech. I think that you used so much of it, though, that it takes a little bit of time away from the second point, which you developed reasonably well, but you needed some more examples on. For instance, you suggest that it's the media that's playing the race card, that they're the ones that made a big deal out of it, that they're the ones that emphasize the point. But we didn't get many examples of that kind of thing. We got a little bit of information about perceived media bias, and we had I thought you had a good analogy there about how Obama's like any other candidate in terms of his criteria and what he's advocating. He fits in the party, all those sorts of things. I thought that was pretty standard. But how about some illustrations about how the media bent over backwards trying to make a big deal out of Obama's ethnicity? I didn't hear any illustrations of that. I didn't see an example of how they failed to cover something or covered something in a particular way that emphasized that, and that seemed to be the point that you were trying to make there. There's some information about bias, but I'm not sure that the information fits the criteria that you've set up there. I did like a little bit of the explanation about the race speech that Obama gave and some of the examples there. I didn't think it was as clear as some other points. I guess the whole thing about Reverend Wright, for instance, was a little bit confusing to me. But I thought it was an interesting idea that's pretty well developed. As a speech, it's okay. It might make a better essay. It's a think piece, but it's put in the format of a speech pretty well. There's a structure. You've got some interesting ideas there. It just needs to be punched up a little bit on the presentation. On the presentation things, there are a couple of things that you still need to be working on. I think you've got a narrow range in your voice. You might need to work on expanding that a little bit and maybe pausing. If it's difficult to change the range in which your voice is operating, maybe use some more pauses or a little bit of volume to emphasize a couple of ideas. When you're not reading, you do a good job looking at the audience. I like that. You looked up at us and you seem to be challenging us and making the point that you're trying to make, but you do have to do occasional reading there. There was a little bit of nervousness with your feet and some scratching and those kinds of things. That's not a big deal. I didn't find them too distracting, just things that you'd want to work on a bit. So I generally liked the speech quite a bit, and I thought that you had an interesting idea. I'm not sure that it quite achieves what you wanted to achieve, but it's a noble effort in something that's kind of thoughtful and quite a bit different from other things that we're probably going to be hearing about. All right, thank you.